Yes Loitering began earlier this year. I worked with an amazing group of 6 young people to really get at this question of how young people might be targeted in public space and ways we can create more open and inclusive public spaces. And a lot of these signs are clearly targeting young people, and especially young people of color, sending a clear message to our young people that they're not really welcome there and they're seen as a nuisance. This project, I believe, has the opportunity to create really engaging and really new and innovative public spaces in the city.
For many decades, our community has been plagued with being the dumping ground for everything the city didn't really want in its own backyard. And what have we gotten in exchange for all that? Highest rates of asthma. 55% of our children don't even graduate from high school. So what we have been working really hard to create is to organize, to reclaim our own public spaces.
We want to build a map that reflects the catchment area of our CLT, so we can optimally identify the resources, the assets, the liabilities, the obstacle that lies within that catchment area. It's not only analytical, classic database stuff, but also using the map as a recruiting or organizing tool.
Here's a view inside the Stanton building, which is used for storage by parks. And then when you go outside the building, these trucks are there every day. And this creates all kinds of safety issues.
We have a number of homeless providers in our neighborhood, and so our park has become the daytime place for people who are homeless to hang out, and we are absolutely a park that welcomes them. But what's happened recently is that people have been feeling pitted against one another, and we are at a point where our communities, which are low-income NYCHA buildings, Mitchell-Lama housing, and then some luxury, are trying to figure out how do we live together.
We have over 100 surveys, petitions, community sketches. It really helped make us feel like we're headed in the right direction, that people really do want to see this building open, and there's a lot of different ideas about what it can become.
The picture on the left is from 2005 when we first adopted the plaza, and the reason we did was it's right in the heart of our commercial corridor. Anybody has to cross from east to west on 125th Street has to cross there. For a long time, it's been decades a homeless encampment. I mean, we have one of the largest concentration of methadone clinics in the city, and there are about 1,000 people that are bused per day to Lex and 125 from wards in Randall's Island, where there's about 5 homeless shelters. Eric is our maintenance guy. He cleans it the 6 days that we're out there. And we have fresh food box, we have live music, we have Zumba classes, all sorts of different things. In our area specifically, how do we make the plaza a place where people that have homes can be and people that don't have homes can be? And how do we do all that without conflict and hopefully to the benefit of all of us? But I think you'll see creativity like that happening all across the city.
New York is one of many American cities obliged to offer safe, accessible public restrooms for transgender individuals. However, this urgent social issue happens to coincide with a long-standing but as yet unresolved issue that New York City has been grappling with for 2 decades. As you know, in New York City, restrooms tend to be private and only available to patrons. We need to provide inclusive public facilities for all New Yorkers, no matter their age, their income, their gender, their religion, or their disability.
Stalled NYC began as a direct response to recent state and federal court cases seeking to overturn the Obama administration's interpretation of Title IX as guaranteeing transgender access to public toilets. Our project demonstrates that this is not just a legal problem. It's a social justice issue that can be addressed through innovative design that overturns the paradigm of the sex-segregated public restroom itself.
The 2 winners are Community Land Trust as a model for public space. The second winner, when the going gets tough, addressing equity and quality of life.
We looked at underutilized space, hyperutilized space in the case of 125th Street, wrongly utilized space in the case of the South Bronx. But there was a common thread which held it all together, which was this democratizing idea about public space should be for all, and it should not be trickled down or filtering up to only the elites that can use it.
Who is this place for? How do we share it? How do we balance the new and the folks who have been here for a very long time? That was something that I was really kind of struck by. And also that public space is about the people.
I was just about to say, what was remarkable to experience.
That it's not just about the architecture, not just about the physical space.
Of the two proposals that emerged at the top, there was this interest in getting the information that we need to create public space. So in the 125th Street proposal, the idea of looking at a homeless community that is there, all the challenges that are in that uptown community, what do we need to learn and understand in terms of information to make better decisions? And then in the South Bronx project and looking at community land trust, this is this kind of new nut that people in New York are trying to crack and figure out how it's going to work here, and really providing what is the toolkit, the technology that local people need to know to understand the complexities of ownership, assets, and control.
There's a timeliness to the projects that is very powerful. There is, in the case of the two that emerged on top, there was also a very clear strategy for how this impact can grow citywide.
The takeaway is that almost every project that has been completed has served as a template that can be used by other cities on many scales, intimate scales or large scales. The High Line certainly has been, is already being replicated.
The public-private partnership model that we all have relied on for the last 30 years in the city is not a cookie-cutter proposition. It just does not work in the same way in different neighborhoods.
We've been refilled with the hope that community is the answer, right? The community is under attack, we stand up and we fight back. And I just want to thank you all for understanding the need for us fighting back and fighting together, because who all doesn't want to have communities fight for each other, right? And that's what we're here for.
The thing that excited me about the two projects that were selected as the winners were that they took on issues that oftentimes, I guess, in the city we kind of resign ourselves to not having the answer, but they very courageously, kind of took on these issues. The Design Trust is definitely well positioned to be able to lend their lens on design, which definitely have implications, whether it be affordability, affordability of housing, or who owns housing, who owns real estate, or activating space and making sure that everyone in the public realm are able to be safe and feel that they're in communities that are welcoming for all. So congratulations again.
Well, I was taken by how all the proposals kind of dealt with marginality in different ways. You guys are really doing the hard work. And I wish I could give everybody an award, because all of these projects really did tap into what I feel that people care. People care about the public realm and about the people in it.